box aren't done. Don't fall. Watch.
V1.
I reckon PJ would be a mad gig if you're up for it. Like the para-rescue dudes, jumping off helicopters and that.
Before refueling checklist. Oh, sorry.
He's younger. He jumped on Mark Donaldson's head once.
Missing, and nobody's ever seen him again.
It's long, and it's never seen again.
It's long, wasn't it?
Long, Eric, long, yeah.
$50, $40, $30, $20, retard, 10.
Aimee, and I'm a pilot of the KC-30. So today we took the 82 Airborne back to their home base of Pope, and on the way we refueled a USAF C-17. It was our first refueling of a USAF C-17. So then once we arrived at Pope, we delivered our passengers, and now we're just on our way home. So we've refueled our Australian C-17 many times before, but it was awesome to actually refuel the USAF C-17. From all accounts, the C-17 pilot said it was very smooth to refuel behind us, which is a great success for us, and we hope to do it more in the future. Well, we both operate on operations and exercise with the US military all year round, and the importance of our coalition is really important to us for both operations and exercises. So we need to train in exercises so that we can perform to our highest ability once we do go on exercise, on operation. So Mobility Guardian allows us to practice those skills that we may not use in everyday flying. So it allows us to actually operate to the full extent of the aircraft. The KC-30 is a multi-role tanker transport, which allows us to transport passengers, cargo, and refuel a wide spectrum of aircraft, which is still increasing. So to be able to operate to the full potential is really exciting for us. Well, just fitting into the USAF system and the way that the US tankers go about their planning their missions and executing. Being such a small group and a small squadron, we don't often get multiple tankers airborne to fly together. So to be able to come here and associate with other tanker types and other tanker aircrew to find out how they operate is been definitely a very good learning points. There's been some very good learning points out of that.
Right, so my name's Darrin, Warrant Officer Darrin King. I'm a ARO within 33 Squadron. My role is basically a combination of a boom operator, as it's known in the USAF, and a load master. So when we are fulfilling the air-to-air role, that's where effectively the boom operator on the ground at the point of departure and arrival. That's when we take on the load master role. So that combines with checking cargo, loading cargo, and unloading cargo in the same way that a load master would on a C-130 or a C-17 or any other cargo type aircraft. In the airborne role, we sit in the cockpit of the KC-30 and do all the roles associated with hose and drogue and boom air-to-air refueling. Well, I guess that's exactly what they're trying to move. A lot of people, a lot of equipment, and support fighters in any sort of operation or exercise, which is typical of what we do. For us, we're sort of developing the capability, so anytime we can operate with coalition partners, particularly the US, because you have so many aircraft types which we just don't have, and the F-16 in particular, is we're always very keen to do air-to-air refueling with those in preparation for the F-35. And yeah, it's just good to hone our skills, and having talked to the 2 receiver pilots today, it works quite well for them as well. So, you know, they get a lot out of it, we get a lot out of it, and yeah, the more refueling we can do, and the more often we get to do it, the better we get at it. Well, I guess the more we do it, the more efficient. It's like anything. If you do it often enough and frequently enough, you get better at it and you become more efficient at it. And that's the key to it all, isn't it? You know, the more efficient, the safer we are, the better it is, the better the outcomes, the more reliable the outcomes. So I guess from by being part of these exercises, we all get to know the little idiosyncrasies that we all have, and adapt those according to the environment that we're in. And I think that's been demonstrated over the amount of years we've been working together in the Middle East in various roles, and particularly this, given it's so infant for us, anything we can do in that space is going to help us and obviously help you guys in the long run. The fact that this is like I said, it's an emerging capability for us. We've only had the aircraft since, I think they started to acquire them in 2008 and about 2012, I think. Don't quote me on these figures, by the way. I think it's about 11 or 12 we started to get delivery of the airplanes. It's only been the last probably 2 years that we've really started to forge ahead with getting clearances. We've got one aircraft currently at Edwards doing clearance trials on B-52s and A-10s. You know, the longer we have the airplane, the more clearances we get, the better the capability, the better the interoperability with coalition partners, particularly the US.